You know that moment? You pick up your phone, you just glance at it, and click, it's unlocked. It feels like magic, right? Like it just knows you. But how does it actually work? Let's dive into the incredible physics behind that everyday magic.
Because that's the part that's kind of wild, isn't it? It works perfectly in the middle of the night in a pitch-black room, no lights on at all. A regular camera would see absolutely nothing. So what in the world is going on?
Okay, so the first thing we've got to clear up is that your phone is not just taking a quick snapshot of you. A lot of people think that, but the reality is so much cooler. It's actually performing a super precise three-dimensional scan of your face using invisible light. So, how does it pull off this amazing trick in the dark? Well, the secret is all about using a type of light that our eyes can't even see. It's the invisible key that unlocks the whole system. And that key is infrared light, or IR for short. It's a type of electromagnetic wave that is completely invisible to the human eye. And here's the really clever part. Because the phone is creating its own IR light to see you, it makes zero difference whether the room is bright as day or totally dark.
So, to put that in perspective, if you look at the whole spectrum of light, infrared sits just beyond the red light that we can see. It has a longer wavelength and a lower frequency, which is exactly why it's invisible to us but totally visible to the special camera in your phone.
All right, so the phone is using this invisible light, but how does that turn into a picture of you? Well, it's not taking a flat photo at all. It's meticulously building a digital sculpture of your face, a super detailed 3D map. And the way it builds this map is just wild. It's not a single beam of light. No. Every single time you look at your phone, it projects over 30,000 tiny invisible infrared dots all over your face. That might be a little hard to picture, so here's a perfect analogy. Imagine you have a statue and you throw a perfectly grid-like net over it. That net is going to bend and stretch and warp around the statue's nose, its eyes, its chin. That's exactly what those 30,000 dots are doing on your face. So let's walk through it, but remember, this all happens in an instant. The dot projector shoots out the dots. They land on your face. The unique shape of your face, your nose, your cheekbones, everything distorts that perfect grid of dots. Then, a special IR camera reads how that pattern got distorted. Software rebuilds the 3D shape and checks it against the 3D map it has on file for you.
And the part that just blows my mind? Your phone does all of that, projecting, scanning, analyzing, and matching 30,000 points of data in less time than it takes you to blink. It is an absolutely incredible feat of engineering.
And what's so cool is that this isn't just some clever computer programming. It's a direct application of fundamental science. You are literally carrying physics around in your pocket. Seriously, if you could remember back to your high school physics class, Face ID is a perfect real-world example of those concepts you learned about. It uses a part of the electromagnetic spectrum we can't see, and it completely relies on the basic behavior of light waves, how they reflect off surfaces, to figure out shape and distance. Now, all of this amazing complexity brings another massive benefit. It makes the system incredibly difficult to fool. And that leads to the question you're probably asking right now, right? If it's just mapping my face, why can't I just hold up a really good picture of myself and trick it into unlocking?
Well, here's exactly why. A photograph is completely flat. It has zero depth information for those infrared dots to map. The phone is looking for a real, three-dimensional object. It's measuring the actual distance to your nose versus the distance to your cheek. A photo just can't do that. It's really the difference between a flat blueprint and the actual building itself. On top of that, the technology is incredibly smart. It actually learns and adapts to slow changes over time. So if you grow a beard or you start wearing glasses, it keeps up. It's even precise enough to spot the tiny, almost microscopic differences in facial depth between identical twins. It's that good. And here's a final, pretty cool way to think about it. Since your phone is creating its own invisible light source to see, it essentially has its own personal night vision. That's the same core idea used in high-tech security cameras and even military goggles. So let's just boil it all down. The key thing to remember is that Face ID uses invisible infrared light to create a precise 3D map of your face. That's why it works in total darkness, and it's just a powerful, amazing application of real-world physics that we use every day. So the next time you unlock your phone, you'll know it's not magic, but this beautiful blend of physics and engineering. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday magic that we take for granted is actually just clever physics, hiding in plain sight?